Beneath the cobblestone streets of Vatican City lies a vault, a place both real and wrapped in shadowy legend. It's not a myth, nor the invention of thrillers or conspiracy theories. It's very real, and it's called the Vatican Secret Archives. Officially renamed in 2020 to the Vatican Apostolic Archive, the collection spans more than 53 miles of shelving and includes documents dating back over 12 centuries. But despite the name change, the aura of secrecy hasn't lifted. These walls hold papal bulls, letters from kings and emperors, and records of heretics tried and silenced, and most of it, the world has never seen. The term secret in this context doesn't necessarily imply sinister intent. In Latin, secretum simply meant private or personal. These were and still are the Pope's personal archives, set apart from public records. But what fuels the endless curiosity, what keeps this place at the center of global intrigue, is not just what is inside, but what isn't allowed out. For centuries, even scholars were barred from entry. That changed slightly in 1881 when Pope Leo III opened a limited path to accredited researchers, but even today, access remains extremely restricted. Only select scholars with approved credentials can enter, and even then they must request specific documents without knowing exactly what's in them. No browsing, no photography, just quiet glimpses behind a curtain that rarely lifts. And what lies within that curtain? In 1521, a letter from Henry VIII pleading for his marriage annulment from Catherine of Aragon, a request that eventually shattered the Christian world and birthed the Church of England. Inside, too, is the 1633 trial transcript of Galileo Galilei, forced to renounce the heliocentric model and sentenced to house arrest. These are not relics of some fantasy. They are authenticated and preserved in temperature-controlled silence beneath the world's smallest country. But the documents that ignite the imagination most are those still hidden. Speculation runs wild. Does the archive contain proof of Jesus' bloodline, secret knowledge from the early church, evidence of extraterrestrial contact? These questions sound far-fetched, but they persist for one simple reason. Secrecy creates a vacuum, and in that vacuum, imagination takes root. One enduring theory suggests the Vatican holds suppressed Gnostic texts that challenge the canonical narrative of Christianity. Another posits that during World War II, sensitive correspondence between the Holy See and Nazi officials was quietly buried to protect reputations. Some researchers claim to have seen documents related to exorcisms, witch trials, and even coded messages between the Vatican and intelligence agencies during the Cold War. There are confirmed rarities too. Letters from Michelangelo complaining about not being paid. A letter from Mary, Queen of Scots, written just before her execution, begging the Pope for help. Even documents related to the Templar trials, records that could reshape our understanding of one of history's most enigmatic brotherhoods. Yet for all its secrets, the archive has recently made attempts at greater transparency. In 2019, Pope Francis authorized the opening of archives from the pontificate of Pius XIII, the wartime pope. This release, covering 1939 to 1958, has already stirred debate. Some scholars argue the documents reveal a pope who failed to speak out against the Holocaust. Others believe they show a more nuanced and diplomatic approach, constrained by the horrors of his time. Still, this is only a small window into a vast cathedral of silence. Ultimately, the Vatican's secret archives are not just a repository of documents. They are a testament to the power of information, the weight of history, and the enduring human need to control a narrative. Within those locked chambers lie the fingerprints of saints and sinners, kings and killers, revolutions and revelations. And perhaps that's why the archives remain so compelling. Because in a world obsessed with transparency, the idea that some truths might still be hidden, that some stories are too powerful, too dangerous, or too sacred to share, reminds us that history is not only what is written, but what is withheld. And maybe, just maybe, that's the greatest mystery of all.